Aren't you about tired of listening to sports shows with all the woke bullshit? So are we. This is Patriot Sports Radio.
Patriot Sports Radio.
Fed up with the national talking heads and biases of mainstream sports media. If it's sports, from the high school level to the pros, we're talking about it. Like the red-blooded Americans we are.
God bless America.
God bless America.
God bless America.
Let's do this. And now, here's Eric, Angela, John, Chris, and the coach.
Welcome back, my friends. If you're new, then welcome in Patriot Sports Radio. My name is Eric. I'm your host. Glad to have you with us. Thank you for all those reviews. Chris is here at HQ with me, shoveling coal in the old firebox. Coach's at the lake. Angela's, is that a Bob Uecker shirt you got on there? That's nice.
Oh, yeah. Just a bit outside. That's right.
Nice. John is absent. Be aware I have extended an invitation to our friend AK over at the Millie Goats podcast. He may join us.
Nice.
Yep. Got to have a ringer. We have to get, we got all kinds of stuff. You know, everybody knows there's no dead zones in the sports calendar. They're only lazy people. The Millie Goats were talking about a fishing tournament. There was some crazy shit going on. Look up the Big Rock fishing tournament down there in North Kakalaka. That's some wild stuff. We don't have any fishing tonight, but we do have baseball history, NBA free agencies, track and field. Why not? Of course, Aaron Rodgers is out there singing the praises of hallucinogens. He's always doing that. Did you guys know that we're possibly doing the hardest job in the world? During his appearance on the Pardon My Take podcast, Travis Kelce was talking to Big Cat and PFT about being a podcaster, and he said, quote, "It's the hardest job in the fucking world to keep coming out with content that people want to hear. People often say things to us like, oh my goodness, you work full-time jobs and somehow also do podcasts. You guys are heroes. And while that may be true, we choose not to look at it that way. But it did make me feel, the sentiment made me feel good.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen the NFL season or the NFL off season? This shit writes itself.
Looks rigorous.
Too many people don't have a guy that keeps us in business.
Right. Exactly.
Yep.
Oh my God.
You got way more players than guys out there. That's your problem. Coach is out at the lake. What lake you at? Well, you don't have to tell the people what lake you're at, but
Might get mauled.
catch a fish.
I mean, I don't mind. You can come on out and see me. I'm at 10 Killer, Lake 10 Killer.
Nice.
What are you doing out there? Fishing, skiing, just jumping in it, just looking at it?
Working.
No, man, my family is. They're all doing the thing at the lake and everything. I'm really just working on schoolwork, trying to get finished. I've got the 25th is a big day. 25th.
Then we're gonna have the party for Coach.
Yep.
Skip's here. Now it's a party.
Yep.
Now we got the Panhandle State well represented. We're at least 50% Panhandle State.
Somewhere there's a well-worn MAGA hat that Skip's rocking.
Yep. There's a little fray on the end of the bill just to let you
yeah.
know he's had that thing. He's
Probably
had
got a
that thing
fishing
for a while.
hook on it or something.
Yep. Love them fishing hook clips. Guess what? Simone Biles is back. Remember, she had the twisties where you forget how to spin or you lose your equilibrium, your orientation, whatever it's called, your true north. Seems that has been defeated, and for the first time since Tokyo 2021, she's back up on the beam. She was probably inspired by friend of the show Ainsley's now famous Indianapolis performance in which she fell and got right back up. Simone says she feels great physically, emotionally, she's doing much better. It's very clear Larry Nassar really messed these girls up, and he should burn in hell for that. I'm not sure if
I think that maybe also she might have been righted by her own inner courage, but since her husband plays for the Packers, it could be cheese curds. You don't know.
Could be. Yes.
Dang.
She is now
Little
married
liquid
to
courage, a few Bloody Marys.
those are good for you. They got all the vitamins and minerals. She is now married to Packers safety Jonathan Owens. She's headlining the Gold Over America tour. It's like a traveling gymnastics tour. And we're likely to see her competing for gold in France next year if France is still there. Speaking
I'm
of
no.
track and field, the Belgian shot putter. She is the ultimate teammate. This is the best. This is the kind of stuff that when I see, I'm like, damn, I'm glad I have a sports podcast so I can talk about this.
I love her.
Maybe you've seen it shared on social media by those feel good accounts that only share videos of puppies in baskets or soldiers surprising their kids at school. This is an inspirational tale of what it means to be a teammate. During the European Championships in Poland, the Belgian team had suffered back injuries to two of their hurdlers, and they were facing disqualification if they couldn't produce enough hurdlers to participate in said race. That's when shot putter Jolien Boomquo stepped up in the big moment and said, "Ik heb dit." That's Dutch for "I got this." That's what she said. She got out there. She lined up against these beanpole hurdler chicks and did her level best. She kind of would shuffle up to the hurdle, step over it, and shuffle up to the next one, and just step over it. She didn't finish, second.
She finished last, but she was awesome. And she didn't knock any over. I was like, just don't knock any over. Like, that'll be even more badass.
Yeah, she's awesome. Go find the video. It's the best thing you'll see today.
So how do you say that in her language? Should we put that on a t-shirt? Hell yeah, we should.
It.
That needs
Yeah, it's nice and short. IKHEBDIT. Ik heb dit.
I got it.
Google. Google's not all evil. It tells you how to say stuff in Dutch when you need it.
It should say "ik heb dit" or whatever that is, and then it said "bitches" underneath. We should like church it up a little. I like it.
Yeah, zhuzh it up.
Yeah.
Christian Yelich is back. Chris, did you see this? Did you hear about this? He just hit a 3-run dinger yesterday. In May, he slugged .466, 8 extra base hits. No big deal. In June, he rose that number to .485. Home runs are starting to come. He's got 10 now. He hit .311 during the month of June. Since May 2nd, he's hitting .298. Switching back, he switched his batting stance. Something with his toe. He tapped
when you shatter your kneecap, it happens. Like,
oh my god.
So
imagine the pain.
Oh my god, no. Yeah, I think that is so crazy because some players get faced with like the adversity of an injury, and that like changes up your whole body equilibrium, right? And your timing and how your muscles are maybe have like rehabbed to be stronger or not around certain areas. But also too, I feel like when you're doing something over and over and over, sometimes you can get lazy and sloppy with your form and you don't know it. Like you think you're doing it the same. It's just, I think it's really interesting. I mean, that's what happens with me in my golf swing. I'm not a professional.
I'll tell you,
it's so crazy.
Coach could probably speak to this a little bit more, but baseball can be very mental. And once that happens and you felt that pain and it's in the back of your head, it's hard to get back in that batter box and be the same guy you were before.
Or girl.
And it's a ton. I mean, these guys, if they're in the MLB, like they have swung that bat a few times.
Yeah.
They understand the mechanics. Now it's mental.
Yep.
Yeah.
What do you think, Coach?
Yeah, no, that's exactly right. I think baseball mental more than a lot of sports, but yeah, no, it takes a while. Anything disrupting an athlete in baseball takes a while to get back.
It's like Coach always says that you could take a baseball player like that's athletic and he can get him in a football uniform and he can find a spot for him on the team, but that doesn't reverse itself. You can't get a really athletic football player and just stick him in the batter box.
That's exactly right. You can take
different.
You can replace them in any sport and they can compete, but it's not the opposite.
No, hitting a baseball is reportedly the hardest thing to do. I saw a video recently that broke down how much time you have. It's milliseconds. When you take out the time it takes your eyes to recognize the spin of the ball and the time it takes your brain to tell your arms to swing, you only have like, I don't know, a quarter of a second or something to make the actual decision. The New York Mets making all the wrong decisions. 7-19 in the month of June. They have a $350 million payroll and they're like 7 games under 500 in New York. Outstanding. Word is AK is available. Hey, nice hat. How you doing? AK of the Millie Goats podcast. Go subscribe to that.
Hey.
The lifeblood of our podcast is making the cut. That's where it starts. Actually, make the damn cut. I'm sorry. Excuse me.
Yeah,
Make the damn cut.
Make the damn cut. That's step one. I'm covered in sand, so
a
my
lot of
apologies.
beach for you this weekend.
A lot of beach. Me and the kids just going down there, and that is an absolute. That's a zoo, to be honest. When I'm by myself, because they want to run to the ocean, and then I have to chase them, and then the other one goes the other way. So quite an adventure.
Oh man, that sounds exhilarating. Sounds like a
Yes.
very relaxing day.
I remember when I was younger and I would go to places like Great America or whatever, and I would see parents with their children on like phone cords, like those cord things. And I'm like, that's horrifying. That's so horrible.
Yeah.
Then you have your own and you're like, oh yeah, that person totally was way ahead of the game.
AK has Cadillac problems. Most people are, yeah. I mean, yes, I live on the beach, but I mean, have you ever tried to have children on the beach?
Yeah, I mean, come on. You ever had them? You know, whenever you're going down there and you're pulling out all your stuff, and you got to truck it all the way across the sand and sit there in the sand and watch the ocean and listen to the waves. I mean, it's terrible. I mean, you can't.
Sounds
Can't
horrifying.
understand the oppression.
It's so bad.
I listened to your show last week and I thought these guys are having so much fun playing DFS. I'm going to try. I got 9th place with 5 guys only who made the cut. That was wild.
Yes,
Turned my
that's a good
$3
lineup.
into 40.
Awesome.
I'll tell you what, I listened to the Plus Money show and I was like, you should. And then I saw your lineup. I was like, those guys must know what they're talking about. They must know golf.
I think they do.
Ricky won today. That was awesome.
They crushed it this week,
Finally.
didn't they?
Yes,
I think so.
Yes.
Ricky just won not too long ago. Which
Yep.
is amazing. It was so a long time coming. I'm super excited and happy for him.
I'll be interested
Yes.
to hear
Well
what,
deserved. Finally.
Did you see what happened to him on Friday?
No.
He had to
No.
he had to hurry up and speed. Was it Friday or Thursday? He had to speed up his round because
Because of the rain.
he had the facilities.
Oh.
He had to use the facilities. If you listen to his speech,
I missed it.
so
Awesome.
obviously the next joke would be Ricky Bowler, right?
Oh my gosh.
As a
Oh my gosh. I love it.
It's a hell of a motivator, I guess. Hey, you got here just in time to talk about the LSU alcoholics. Congrats to the Tigers in their College World
Tigers.
Series. The fans brought a playoff mindset to the bars as well. Those SEC schools, they drink on a level that would concern even a resident of Wisconsin.
What?
Last year, we had the
Sure.
Jell-O shot board, I believe, which they record every Jell-O shot that each fan consumes. This year, they consumed a customary 50,000 Jell-O shots. Do you eat a Jell-O shot or drink it?
Yes.
Mm.
Yes.
Definitely.
Yes.
In addition,
You slurp it.
in addition to their 50,000 shots, they also drank a portion of Nashville Dry, which is saying something. And they also completely tapped a downtown Atlanta Marriott. So they're, coordinated efforts around the country, I guess.
I feel like that's like an oyster, though, right? A Jell-O shot.
Yeah.
Similar. I'm not a big fan of oysters, and for the life of me, I can't understand why, since they're the Jell-O shop champions, Jell-O shot, why they have not spelled it JELLEAUX.
Ah,
Yeah.
I mean,
awesome.
come on.
There's your next shirt, buddy.
They probably do in
Together.
Louisiana.
Everything's an EAUX down there. Yesterday was Bobby Bonilla Day. Every year on the July the 1st, Bobby Bonilla walks to the end of his driveway to find a check for $1.19 million in his mailbox. He got the Baltimore Orioles too. Don't forget, they're on the hook for $500,000 every year. This contract has inspired others to work out similar deals, and I don't know why you wouldn't. You see what happens to some of these guys. Just watch that 30 for 30 broke. That'll let you know. Bobby has 12 more years on his deal. He'll get these checks until he's 72 years old, and it's guaranteed growth rate of 8% annually. So he's turning $6 million into like 30.
It's the greatest sports contract ever negotiated in the history of sports.
Absolutely.
I learned yesterday.
That's why we make it a holiday, right?
Yep, exactly. It's one of the great things, like, among sports fans. If you're a real sports fan, you know what Bobby Bonilla Day is, but if you're casual, you really don't. I think it's a good indicator of where people are at. I heard yesterday.
Somebody wrote a funny little precursor in their article. I'm just going to read this. It's pretty funny. A 60-year-old retiree in Florida just received $1.44 million from a company that he hasn't worked for in 22 years. that was him. It's so funny when you put it that way.
Is that the opposite of the Bitcoin contract right now?
I think so. Boy,
Right.
you don't want to be one of those clever guys with the Bitcoin contract right now.
No.
I don't think I think it's still under 30,000.
That looks genius for a minute.
Yep. I guess the Mets weren't too worried about the deferment and it growing over time because they just made some sweet investments with Bernie Madoff. So they were about to be rich.
I've seen that documentary.
Yeah.
Christian Yelich actually called Dennis Gilbert, the genius agent who did Bobby Bonilla's deal, to figure out how to keep getting paid until 2040. So we'll be on the hook. We'll be celebrating Christian Yelich Day until I don't want to calculate how old I'll be at that point. And then Barry Bonds, the 58-year-old retired baseball murderer, recently earned his blue belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu from black belt John J. Gennaro at Evolve Training Center in South San Francisco, California. On Thursday, they posted a video of it on Instagram. He looks skinnier these days. It's almost like he's changed his regimen or his diet.
Right.
What, keto, maybe? Did he?
Yeah.
Wait, is there an asterisk beside the blue belt or no? Is
Right. Ooh, I was waiting for
belt with
somebody
an
to open that
asterisk.
door.
Is that a real blue belt or
Does this mean that is he in the running now to go after Elon Musk and maybe like Zuckerberg? Like he could get in that whole thing? Their little showdown they're gonna have.
I saw Elon tweet that the fight could be in a Coliseum, so maybe it's actually going to happen. I think we're going to be disappointed in this fight. It's just
maybe he'll be the pre-show. Maybe
That's
he'll be
what
the
I'm
pre-show.
saying.
He'll go and hit home runs in the Coliseum.
That's as American as it gets right there. More baseball. MLB history on Wednesday night at Ring Central Coliseum. I don't even know what Ring Central is. So is it worth money? Is it worth all the money you spent sponsoring a stadium if I don't even know what your product is? Anyway, in that stadium, Yankees right-hander Domingo Germán threw the 24th perfect game in baseball's storied history against the Oakland Athletics, who lost 11-0. It took him 99 pitches. If it's possible to cruise to a perfect game, he did. He only took it to 3 balls twice, and there was no need for a stellar defensive play behind him. That may be a first. Every no-hitter has that diving grab or the reach over the fence, or the one impossible defensive play has to happen for you to get a no-hitter, let alone a perfect game.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, that's a team effort usually. Definitely.
He was having a rough go at it too. I was watching that, and the 2 starts before that, he had been yanked by like the 3rd inning.
17 runs in 5 1/3 over his previous 2 starts.
Yep.
Crazy.
Awesome.
Is that the 25th no-hitter or perfect game though? Do you remember the old Detroit Tigers debacle?
Yeah, that was rough. That man was out by 1.5 feet.
Yeah.
I can still see it in my brain, the gap between his foot and the base. And he's
hunting.
I had no idea that they'd been since 2012 since that happened. I guess because of that. So that's wild.
Mr. Germán is the first Dominican to throw a perfect game. It's the most lopsided perfect game of all time. Matt Cain won 10-0, but most of them are like 6-0, 5-0. The average score of a perfect game is 3.5. There have been 7 one-run perfect games. I found a chart of the likelihood of rare MLB single-game feats. 2 grand slams in 1 inning, rarest thing ever. It's only happened once. 3 hits in 1 inning, 3 times. 2 grand slams, 13 games. Perfect game lost on the 27th batter. That's happened 13 times. Ouch.
Wow.
Ouch. 4 home runs by 1 player. That's happened in 18 games. That's crazy.
Wow.
And then 24 perfect games, 114 immaculate innings, 319 no-hitters. That's 1 every 739 games. Hitting for the cycle, slightly more common, 343 times. Alek Manoah. Do you know much about Alek Manoah? AK. I heard he was talking about how good he is or something, because people seem to think he deserves to get shelled like he has. His first start in the Florida Complex League against the Yankees rookie ball team, he gave up 11 runs on 10 hits over 2 innings.
Not great.
Home runs in there. No,
Get humble.
Not great.
That's a humbling experience.
Yeah.
I don't know what his problem is. They asked him about pressure, and he said pressure is something you put in your tires, which isn't entirely true. It's air, right?
All
Sure, something your tires have as a result of air.
You can't take anything he says seriously if he doesn't understand that.
He was transferred to the New Hampshire Fisher Cats on Saturday. Believe it or not, there's a lower level of baseball than the Florida Complex League.
You think he'll do well there?
I don't know. Who's he playing? If he's dropping below rookie ball, is he playing like prospects who might get drafted, like high school kids, travel
like
ball teams?
Now somebody we need to follow.
Yeah, the bananas.
Savannah Bananas would tee off on Alec Manoa, I think. Do some
11
obligatory hockey talk. The 14-year-old Connor Bedard was drafted number 1. Boy, he needs to fill out. He looks like a child.
He does look like a baby, but so did Kaner when he was drafted too. They all look like a baby.
And Hughes when New Jersey drafted him. He looks like he was about 14 years old. The hockey guys were saying he's never been laid out before. Like, he's never taken a real big hit, and he's going to experience that in the NHL.
Absolutely.
We hope.
He's probably
We'll see how he reacts to that.
They better get some enforcers.
Yeah, right.
If they don't start changing the rules, you know.
Behind him.
Yep. Oh, I hope he's not a Sidney Crosby type.
Oh gosh, we don't need another one.
Made out like bandits for the draft. John and I are going to be pretty annoying for a while. I mean, I'm not saying we're going to run away with the cup, but we got a couple of good guys on the team.
They'll be competitive. For sure.
Oliver Moore, right? That's a great ad. There's some guy that they picked up named Marcel. Did you see that?
No, but I love that.
I know.
Yes.
Everybody's like, this is the best. People are already making Seinfeld like Rochelle.
Yes, that's what I was trying. I was like, there was something else with that name on it.
Right. I was trying to come up with something, but all I had was Sirhan. And I'm like, you can't do a lot with that, Eric. Just keep it.
Duran. Is that one?
That's what somebody's like, are they going to play Duran music? I'm like, I don't know. It's a good one.
The Coyotes players all showed up in matching red blazers. Not sure what that's about. That was kind of the most interesting part of the draft. No real trades, no real intrigue. The Ducks took a different guy at number 2 than everybody thought, but that's what the Ducks do. They make the wrong decisions.
That's Chris's team.
There was I saw a new logo for the Ducks that looked pretty cool. It was like a meaner duck with like a snarl type face to it. It still looks Disney, but looks cooler. One guy showed up. Oh no, that was the NBA draft. The guy showed up dressed like a ruby slipper. That was wild.
Yeah, that was Grady Dick.
Does he have no friends who are going to tell him not to do that?
The biggest question I had was that turtleneck a turtleneck or was it a dickie? Because if he's Grady Dick, he has to be wearing a dickie. I don't know why he would ever wear a turtleneck when he could wear a dickie.
Yeah.
Right.
So
any opportunity you have to wear one, you should. Did you guys see the guy who got picked last? No, the big story was he was sitting in his seat the entire time because he didn't want to leave just in case they were going to call his name. And sure enough, they called him last. And so now he has like Brady syndrome, which is like Rudy.
Oh, yeah.
Like I'm going to
Brock Purdy.
Yes, they are exactly. They're referencing Brock Purdy. So they're like, we're expect great things out of this young man.
The NHL of Mr. Irrelevant.
Pedal, his name is.
Did Brock Purdy ruin Mr. Irrelevant for everybody?
Yeah.
Right.
So. Also, the NHL says they will no longer be doing these specialty cause jerseys. They're out of the cause business. Commissioner Gary Bettman said, I suggested that it would be appropriate for clubs not to change their jerseys and warm-ups because it's become a distraction and taking away from the fact that all of our clubs in some form or another host nights in honor of various groups or causes. We would rather those groups continue to get the appropriate attention rather than be a distraction. So we'll still have Pride Night and Star Wars Night and 80s Night. Just, the players aren't going to be dressing up like rainbows or Darth Vader. And you'll just have to be okay with that.
This has got to be a backlash from what happened last year, I think.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Right? And I'm sure Bud Light put the nail in that coffin, which
It was a real.
we can thank them for that at least, right?
Yeah,
It was a real read the room moment.
Oh
I
my
think
God.
when they tried to come in the NHL.
Yeah.
Yeah.
James Harden.
Go ahead.
James Harden wants a trade, and
There
so
you
does
go.
Dame Lillard. Front runners seem to be the Clippers for Harden and the Heat for Damian Lillard. But I heard somebody else was, the Celtics were recruiting Damian Lillard too. So we'll see.
Guys, I got to bounce. I'm sorry.
All right.
I'm about to lose internet here anyway.
All right. Have a good one, Coach.
All right. See you
See you
guys.
later.
Later.
Summer school.
Thanks.
NBA free. How long is it going to take Coach to turn off his phone? Let's get a pool going.
Okay, we should have played sign of it. And I was like, please, don't. Never mind. Okay.
NBA free agency. These people are getting tons of money. LaMelo Ball got a max $260 million from the Hornets. The Pacers gave All-Star Tyrese Halliburton $260 million. Some dude named Desmond Bane got $207 million from Memphis. 76ers signed Pat Beverly to a 1-year contract. You always want to get Pat Bev in there to stir shit up. Brooke Lopez, Jay Crowder, and Chris Middleton are all staying in Milwaukee.
Wow.
That makes me happy. That makes me think that Giannis told them he's going to stick around for a little bit. Former Buck Dante DiVincenzo, did he play for anybody else besides the Bucks yet? I know we drafted him, but he went to the Knicks for $50 million.
Golden State. Wasn't he with Golden State?
I knew he left for somewhere.
I don't know why I know that. I have no idea why.
That's awesome.
Maybe because he thought he's like, that guy looks like he'd play on Golden State, but I don't
We
know.
have a sports podcast. We just hear all these numbers and some of them stick.
Right.
Austin Reeves and D'Angelo Russell stay with the Lakers. The Heat traded Victor Oladipo to OKC, and that is basketball. When John
Dylan Brooks, right?
Into,
Didn't Dylan Brooks go somewhere?
he was the
Memphis
guy with the mouth. Yeah.
Yes.
I imagine he went somewhere. You want to get him out of town. I don't know why you'd bring a guy like that in.
He got good money too, from what I don't know how. Again, I don't know where I saw that. Yeah,
Man.
I think it was like 80 million.
That's the sport to be good at. Like if you could pick, you want to be good at basketball. Very low contact. Cities.
Yeah, you don't have to play every night. Huge paychecks.
That's what I don't understand. How do they keep getting these max contracts? I mean, is the NBA still doing well financially?
China.
Okay.
Comes from China.
I know.
Yep. I don't know.
I think this is a fun July sports podcast question to ponder. I'm glad you're here, AK. You're the poll guy. You're the obscure sports question guy. What athletes of the 4 major sports, and Chris kind of brought this up earlier, what athletes do you think would be the best at all of the sports across the board? Like who could
Like what types of
play
athletes
football?
or by name?
I would say hockey. Without
Right, me too. That's what I thought.
those guys can do anything. I mean, they do play a lot of golf. They're physical, so they wouldn't have any problem on the football field. Is there an answer to this, or are we just
No,
going?
it's all
Okay.
open to interpretation.
Yeah.
Yeah, at first I was like, I went down the road where I was like, oh, like Tim Tebow, he was like a baseball, football guy, and so was Bo Jackson. But like Tebow also can golf, so I was like, well, maybe,
Wait, Tebow golfs?
he does golf a little bit.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Wow.
But I agree. I think hockey players have the greatest stamina, and their dexterity is incredible.
They have great hand-eye coordination, so I think they could mesh with baseball.
Definitely.
Baseball's hard.
Some
Baseball
of
is
the
very
passes those
difficult.
guys make, like when they're skating past the goal at maximum speed and they take the puck and like pass it through their legs behind them to somebody who they know is there. Like it's wild.
The hand-eye coordination is there.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And like if somebody's clearing one out of the zone and they've saucered it a little bit, they're able to slap it down at the blue line, just pick it right out of the air.
That's
keep
a great
the play alive.
point.
I'm like, that's being able to maybe see a 90 mile an hour fastball. Plus they're physical. I mean, hockey would be, I think those dudes could handle it on about any sport. Now, if you take them off skates, no idea what they'd be like, but
I think your guy Panarin could probably hit a curveball.
If you watch them
That's
train,
right.
though, they do crazy stuff. Like they really, really do. Their balance, the things that they do, is wild.
Half their stuff before the game too is the soccer stuff. They
Yep.
they do the soccer juggling before the games in the locker rooms.
Yeah, I agree. Yep.
Yeah, Panarin could unless it was in the playoffs, then he would not be able to hit a curveball.
Yeah. Oh boy. I kept betting on that guy to have an assist, and he just would not do it.
No, it's the playoffs.
Yep.
On playoff P.
I was thinking tight ends because tight ends are always naturally good at basketball anyway, but the baseball thing. And then anybody who doesn't play hockey is probably not going to be good at hockey. You're not going to be able to do that.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, either you can skate or you can't. And if you can skate, that's great, but it doesn't mean you can do all that stuff. Oh boy.
I would agree. So my vote's hockey. Hockey guys.
So consequently, JJ Watt actually is a football player who played hockey also growing up.
Oh.
So and he also golfs. So just saying. But he was a hockey player before he was a football player.
I guess what you need to do is field a team of the athletes from each sport that you could think, and then have them do like a dude perfect contest.
That would be awesome.
Right?
Yeah.
Now that's an idea.
Let's
put a pin in that and let's get to working on that. That would be would be a lot of fun. So you'd have Tim Tebow and JJ Watt from the NFL, and I'm sure there's some other guys. And then you field some hockey dudes, all the major sports, put them in an arena, dude perfect that thing. And then you settle the argument.
Epic.
I like it.
Until YouTube TV got a hold of it or something. I don't know. But
the Dude Perfect guys, they're on tour and they're doing this shit live on tour, which defeats the theory of, oh, that took 1 million tries. You can't take 1 million tries if you're doing it in an arena in front of people. You got to get it in the first few.
Yep. Yeah. So is it staged? Are they? My brother Tex just went to one of those too with his kids. He said it was pretty cool. So
I bet it'd be great to take the kids to, similar to a monster truck rally.
Yeah. I was like, do they have favorite players? Or like, do they wear jerseys? Do you pick your favorite dude perfect guy? And he said, yeah. They choose, they have colors and all that stuff. So I don't know.
Cool. I have to put that on the list. Oh, Eric froze. Did we get to make fun of him now?
Oh no, he's doing the old, almost like the what's that guy, Sean Connery.
Oh, right. I love it. That's
I don't.
Where was the dude perfect thing that your brother went to? Where was that?
I think it was somewhere in Greensboro, Raleigh, Winston-Salem, somewhere in there. But yeah,
cool.
He said he took the kids to it, and it was pretty electric. He said it was enjoyable. So I think that they should do that with the pro athletes. I don't know how they would do that. Like get them all in one.
Cool.
Pick your best 5 from each and send them out and do like an Olympics thing where they do something from each sport. Like
and that's not a bad idea. And I wonder if they would be. I would imagine though, like if you think about it this way, it's likely that I don't know. Do you think that if they're active sports players, like would you have to be retired, or would your organization be like, yeah, we don't want you getting hurt? Probably not a good idea. No.
That's an interesting point. The retired thing. Yes.
I don't know. You know,
it'd be hard. I mean, it'd be hard to line them all up because they all play in different seasons. But I think, like you said, having the retired, you don't think Chad Ochocinco and Terrell Owens and some of those dudes wouldn't be chomping at the bit to do something like that?
Oh my gosh, totally. I totally would. They'd be perfect for it too. I love it. That's awesome.
So, but yeah, I mean, so what about? Did you watch any of the golf, or did you?
Usually I do. I'll watch everything, like the whole week. Well, I mean, not usually Thursdays, but usually I'm locked into Friday. I watch all of Saturday and I watch most all of Sunday too. Like I don't know. I get glued to the TV and then I get to rooting for people. I'm always an underdog person. So I've been really hot on Ricky Fowler wanting him to win because it's been so long and he's such a great guy. And, he's been getting better and better and he's almost won and and slipped away. And then, but I feel really weird about Rory. Like, I don't know what's going on there. And I mean, the guys talk about we have the golf podcast and they talk about it all the time. So we
Yeah.
don't talk about it too much on our regular show here, but I really do. I'm just like, I want him to do better, and I just don't know what the deal is. And golf is so mental. So I just, and sometimes it's not your time, and guys have particular courses that they love and that they do better on. And when that cycles, and if you've missed that opportunity at your favorite course, that probably is mental also.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
I was happy to see Ricky get the win. I do have there all these guys like Ricky and Rory and Jordan Spieth and Justin Thomas. Like, you look back on what their life events have been happening, they've been getting married, and
Right.
some of them are starting having kids. So like, you look back at when all that stuff occurred, and it's taken them about a year or two to adjust to get back to where they were.
don't get married, don't have kids. You're going to be a winner.
Yeah.
Is what you're saying.
But, they're like they're the hottest thing on tour, and then like all of us, right? I mean, that's kind of my theory. Is like, you look back at Justin Thomas right now. I think he got married in November, and he's the first year of marriage, first couple of years, like, you're having a blast. Like, your priorities change, and so then they, Ricky's found his way back.
Yeah.
Rory's found his.
It isn't like they aren't there, and it isn't
No.
that they aren't supported by their family. It's just
No.
like an event, I think, that switches their mindset a little bit where, reprioritizing. It's very, very crazy. But you're right. That's a pattern that I think, I don't know, I guess most people don't notice.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough to think about it because, I mean, that's what they do. They golf, But I don't, did you happen to watch the match at all between Kelsey and Mahomes? And
Yeah, I did. That's so
Did you-
funny that you would ask, because I did. It was really cool to see them mic'd up. And I always like those kinds of things because then I can really dig into somebody's personality. You can see them on the field and you see them doing what they're doing and if they're leaders or not. And so I love that part of it, to see, how they really are in real life, if they're likable or not. And I don't know why that matters to me, but as a fan, it does. But it was cool to listen to them talk. And it was so cool that they were, earning money for charity. And I just, little by little, when I see those things, I start to like Patrick Mahomes a little bit more and more each time, which
Does that make you hurt inside?
it does. I was like, this guy's such a dork. Like, he's so and now he's much more palatable as I get to know him as being normal and not so, like some of those guys are so, I'm just gonna say like douchey because that's a good term that people can relate to. But some of those guys are such a-holes, and it was fun to see them all paired up together. And they were all, really having a great time. And they're all pretty good golfers too. And actually it was really, really hot. So I know that they were like dealing with the heat and the altitude. And so they were really good sports about the whole thing too, I thought.
Yeah.
That's, I don't know, that's hot and altitude.
Were you shocked at the outcome that Mahomes and
The end?
dummied him? Just dummied him.
It's so crazy, right? Yeah. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I'm glad that I caught it because it was not my intention to watch it actually. And I just stumbled on it. Like, I forgot all about it. So it was cool that I accidentally got to watch most of it.
Yes.
I don't know if you guys heard my ponderings, my musings before I froze, but I said, didn't the Dude Perfect guys, like, aren't they going to build a stadium? Yes. This from Architects newspaper. The dudes from Dude Perfect reveal plans for an Overland Partners designed headquarters anchored by 30-story trick shot tower. This place looks pretty awesome.
Wow.
5 Texan gents of YouTube Sports revealed plans for a wild-looking $100 million headquarters / entertainment destination. That looks
That's
wild.
Like Top Golf on or whatever you guys. Top Golf. You ever been there? Yes.
I've never been to a Top Golf.
They're awesome.
Yeah.
It's so
or
much
Drive
fun.
Shack or whatever, except you can do all kinds of stuff there, I would imagine.
They have like weird games that you can play. It's very like interactive for people who don't like golf. Like you're like hitting fake targets, and they have like I don't know, they make video games out of it kind of in a way.
Yeah. And in this bad boy, you could probably just chuck a football from the launch bay out there.
Yeah.
Kick a soccer ball. They're gonna have to do some safety on that. There's gonna have to be a safety training course, I'm sure, for that place.
Yeah. Probably have to sign a waiver just walking in the door. Did you hear about this money that Lionel Messi was offered? It takes a lot to get soccer into the podcast, but this was a large number. He turned down $1.7 billion. He was offered $450 million per year to play soccer, I assume in their 130-degree conditions over there, and he told them no thank you. The running joke is that he refused to go because they sacrifice goats over there. Get it?
We don't like that either.
He is the goat, right? You guys aren't going over there.
We do enough of that on DraftKings every Sunday. We don't need
his contract with PSG is up as of the 30th of June. He agreed formally to play for Inter Miami, but that's apparently not written in ink yet.
Oh.
I found a sweet graphic with all of his accomplishments. He's played 1,028 soccer games. That alone is crazy. I don't know how many miles they run. They run like 11 miles a game or something like that. 357 assists and 807 goals in a sport where the score is fucking 2-0 all the time.
Right.
807 goals is crazy.
Holy moly. He's a selfish player. That's what that tells me. He doesn't like to give up the ball.
Right.
Not a team guy.
What an a-hole.
Over on Brother says legendary Lee Canada. I don't know who that is.
Is he related to Patrick Cantlay?
Oh, Cantlay. No, nope.
Nope.
I was gonna push it, but no.
Java had a stat on one of our I don't know, like 2 episodes ago, that he has scored in every minute of soccer play except for the first minute.
I heard that. He scored in like the second minute of a game, the 37th minute of a game, the last minute of a game. We got to get him this first minute goal.
That's a cool
yes. That has to be the goal. I mean, unintended. That has to be the goal.
Yeah. Let's get the boys together and organize this thing. You know, when a guy's got 2 goals, the boys start setting him up so he can get the hat trick. We got to get Messi this first goal in the first minute.
That's nuts.
Can you imagine? That'll be something to celebrate when it happens. We have to go crazy, make it a big thing.
Yes. They go bonkers for the soccer down there. Like what, Brazil won the World Cup last time?
I think it was wasn't it Messi?
Argentina, yes.
There you go.
Argentina. Yes. And it was just a sea of people.
Yes.
Just people and flags. As far as I could see, they didn't give a damn about COVID.
Looked like Myrtle Beach in the mid of summer.
Nice.
We had some more NFL gambling consequences. Got some weird football stories here. We'll start with the slightly normal one. The fallout from the recent gambling scandals in the NFL continued as that Colts cornerback was suspended for a year. He's likely done in the National Football League. Isaiah Rodgers. This should be a lifetime ban. He bet $1,000 on Jonathan Taylor's rushing yards. Not just his own sport, but his own team in his own team's building. That's a level of stupid you can't afford to have in your organization.
Wow.
That's like casino. You're either in on it or you're so dumb that you don't understand it's happening. Either way, you got to go.
I wonder if he drafted him first in his fantasy league. Because I think he should have consulted us on this. I'd have been like, no, dude, don't do that. That's a bad idea.
No, it was a rough go.
Take CMC.
It was a rough go with old Jonathan Taylor last year. Rashad Berry and Demetrius Taylor were also suspended from the Colts for a year. Best of luck in the USFL to them, or wherever they end up selling cars.
There was the championship. Did you see that? The Birmingham Stallions repeated.
Oh my gosh, crazy. That's crazy.
So yesterday.
Wow.
I was like, man, good for them. They're having a parade somewhere.
Yep. Well, the Birmingham Stallions didn't have a parade last year, so
they didn't. We whined about it.
Yep. I know. Last time I asked Madison McMinn about that, she said, no parade. They haven't had no parade. Did you know Peanut Tillman is an FBI agent? These criminals may not know it yet. They got a peanut allergy. If they run into peanut, they are done for while they're out there doing their crimes. He went to school, he took the training, and now he's a real life FBI agent, sort of like how Shaq is a sheriff. or a deputy or whatever.
Oh my
Whoa.
God. Wow.
You think he
Love
just gives it the old, like if you're a burglar and he's there, boom, pop it right out of your hands?
He has punched 42 footballs out in his career. So say you got yourself a brick of cocaine, you're trying to run away with that. No, he's going to peanut punch that right out of your arms.
Right.
Firearm. I'm not sure how he'll handle a firearm. He'll probably just shoot you because he's
Right.
been trained in that as well.
That's bad.
That'd be messed up. You're out there dealing your drugs and everything goes awry and you get arrested.
You're like,
yeah,
"Wait a
is
minute."
that fucking Peanut Tillman over there?
Guy's got a move named after him in the NFL.
Can I have your autograph, bro?
You guys don't even know. This guy was a legend. Like, yeah, we know. We know he did the internship. We're all aware that he played in the NFL.
Like, call your buddies, and they're like, "Are you drunk?"
Good news, bad news. I got busted, but I was at least arrested by an NFL great. So
Yeah.
it could have been worse. Could have been Dog the Bounty Hunter.
Oh, God. Yikes.
I think when you get caught by Dog the Bounty Hunter, it's less, oh, wow, and it's more, oh, fuck. Dog the Bounty Hunter?
Am I on TV?
That's right. Exactly.
A&E. That's all I got.
Go Christ, bruh.
Go with Christ.
Go Christ, bruh. You gonna smoke?
What an episode. South Park's electric.
Yeah.
Oh,
We did an episode of the Fan Bus about sports movies last week, and I tried to watch some of basketball. It doesn't
Oh.
quite hold up. It had a moment, and that moment was in the 90s.
And it was
or
very
early
short.
2000s. I'm not sure. Aaron Rodgers is a mushroom connoisseur. Meanwhile, he's hanging out at psychedelic conferences and giving talks while his young wide receivers struggle to learn Nathaniel Hackett's complex football language. Maybe they should microdose psilocybin.
what could go wrong?
Right? Oh my God. And he's so smug about it too, where he's like, oh yeah, that we had the conference. It went really well. And then he was talking about his stats and how awesome his stats were last year comparatively. So it must have been because of his hallucinogens. And I'm like, come on, bro. Oh my God.
All I can think of whenever I see him is the whole Owen Wilson line in Wedding Crashers. People say we only use 10% of our brains. I think we only use 10% of our hearts.
Our hearts.
I mean,
Yeah.
that's all I mean, he is. Every single show he's on or
Love and
you watch,
gratitude.
it's are the Jets going to make the Super Bowl? It's like, okay,
Right.
everybody on ESPN, let's
Can we
talk
calm down?
about something else.
Yeah.
Let's calm down. Yeah.
So
And-
ridiculous.
This is in Denver, of course, the Psychedelics Conference. It's put out by a psychedelic advocacy group. Took place months after Colorado's voters decided to join Oregon in decriminalizing mushrooms, man. While it's a sign of growing cultural acceptance for substances that make you see stuff, it helps with post-traumatic stress disorder, they say, and alcoholism, they say. I don't know. I've known some alcoholics who also enjoyed mushrooms, and it didn't do a lot to slow their drinking down.
I just
Rogers-
can't awesome scenario in my brain. Like if he's into microdosing and he's like really getting down to earth with his teammates, and like what if there's some kind of episode where they're overdosed on their microdose and they're like having problems on the field? That would be my personal Super Bowl that day, whatever happens. That would
the
be
day
awesome.
Aaron Rodgers accidentally macrodosed.
Yeah, like just ruin the whole team. I would love
Is this any coincidence in the same year that the Super Mario Brothers came out? That movie?
Probably not.
Mm,
That was a big hit.
yes,
I heard
that.
that Mario world they built down there looks like the game. It looks like you'd feel as if you're walking around
Whoa!
in the
I have to go
Mario
check
universe.
that out. I just watched that movie today.
I haven't seen it yet.
Oh, you gotta watch it. It's pretty good.
Apparently, I've
Aaron
heard
Rodgers
nothing but
loves it.
great reviews of it. He spoke Wednesday night with podcaster Aubrey Marcus. He described his ayahuasca experience with his teammates as radically life-changing and claimed many other pro athletes have reached out to him. He said he found a deeper self-love. It unlocked that whole world of what I'm really here to do is connect with those guys, make those bonds and inspire people. Then go to practice, dude.
There's a whole
literally connect. Like throw that ball and connect with somebody, please.
Back in my day, we used to go to the cafeteria and eat lunch together during camp. That's just me though.
Right.
After we lift weights, we'd go drink a protein shake and
Bond.
yeah. That's just, that was me. I don't know.
Yeah, AK was on the App State team that beat Michigan, and he doesn't talk about it nearly enough. I mean, I would open the show with that. I would open every podcast with that. It would be in the introduction, maybe like the radio call of it.
In case you happen to forget.
That radio call is electric. I did get my rings back. My in-laws had my championship rings for a while because we had some remodeling done. So they're up in my closet. I gotta show you guys those sometime. They're pretty cool.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, we didn't need any mushrooms for that.
No. Got it done just on grit and Gatorade.
And Boost protein shakes at halftime with Snickers.
Nice.
Carbo load.
Oh man, that Snickers ice cream bar. Not many things in the world are perfect, but a Snickers ice cream bar is perfect. It's the perfect ratio of everything.
Gosh, I haven't had one of those in a while. Would you power rank that at the top?
I've never had a Snickers ice cream bar and not immediately wanted another Snickers ice cream bar.
Yeah. It outranks the classic timeless spanning generations drumstick, in my opinion.
Yep. Although there's a mini drumstick out there that's like 2.5 inches tall, and you can just
pop it in.
Those are 1-bite drumsticks. You get every aspect of the drumstick in one bite. A lot to be said for that.
That's a slippery slope. That is a slippery slope.
Yeah, you buy that box and you say, "Oh, 20, that's a lot. I won't eat all those." You will.
This is great. I could just have one of these.
Or 5.
Yeah.
Exactly. Then you're doing math. How many of these would equal one bowl of ice cream?
Right.
Really? I could probably have 7.
Could I just stuff some of these on the bowl of ice cream? Maybe.
You haven't eaten one real size drumstick yet, so I'll just have a couple.
Exactly.
Should they have called those wings instead of drumsticks? The Nestle wings. I mean, come on.
God,
that's good.
So smart.
That's good.
Or nuggets. Something.
Yeah. He's full of those. If Aaron Rodgers were here, he'd tell you to go to Cannon Bloom Pharmacy for your natural relief. They'll help you find exactly what you're looking for, even if you don't know what you're looking for. I was just there the other day. It's looking nice. They're doing a remodel. The epoxy floor is done. They got some painting done. They're going to do a big old bash for the first Packers game. We're going to be down there, I don't know, doing stuff. We'll have microphones. We'll be giving stuff away, I'm sure, something like that. Go to Cannon Bloom Pharmacy with an F.com and enter code PSR to get 10% off your purchase today. I bet if you go in there, 2770 East Sumner Street in Hartford, you'll probably get more than 10% off, and you'll make some new friends. That's what happened to us anyways. Angela's friends with him now, too. She's down there designing shit for him. It's all interwoven. You find good people and you work with them, right?
Love that.
Absolutely. Connection.
I like to keep it as local as possible.
Agreed.
That's a producer Chris trait. He's all about shaking hands and breaking bread with people. If he can't have lunch with you, he's not interested.
No. I can't look. I got to look you in the eye.
He does. I don't think you don't know a person until you eat with them is basically your theory.
Like if you do with your mouth open, you're out or what?
No, I mean, you can have actual conversation.
Yeah. People like discuss things. Yeah. Sitting there eating food. Yeah. It's a good theory.
Absolutely. I agree.
I have one more thing. People always say, never play the slots at the airports. It's what everybody tells you. Nobody ever wins at the airport, right? Well, not so fast. It did happen. Harry Reid International Airport has confirmed that one, quote, lucky player, I guess didn't want to use their name, I wouldn't either, won $1.3 million while playing the Wheel of Fortune Triple-Double Emeralds game at the Terminal 1 Esplanade. Every time I hear the word Esplanade, I think of Tony Soprano. I've never heard anybody else say Esplanade besides the Sopranos.
Totally.
Did you know slot machines at Harry Reid have brought in over $1 billion in their 36 years of existence. On average, machines at the airport generated $39.8 million in gross revenue per year, said the company in a press release. The airport received about $34.4 million of those funds. Then why is it all fucked up at the airport if you're getting all this money?
Oh my god!
This just in: we have decided to open and launch a line of airport casino games. Be on the lookout for your nearest airport for us to have a line of. Was it on Bobby Bonilla Day? Please tell me it was on Bobby Bonilla Day.
Right?
No, I think it was before that.
Oh no!
That would have been awesome.
Wow.
The real question is, do you get on the plane or do you take some of that 1.3 million back to Vegas?
I'm going to interject because I happen to know somebody who hit big on a slot, and you're not allowed to leave. The Nevada Gaming Commission or whatever gaming commission has to come. They have to verify, shut down the machine, do all this stuff, and they have to send somebody. So if you're not allowed to leave until they can send somebody to do all the official shit that
it's over 1,500. They need your social, and then it's over like 10 grand where they have to actually break the machine down.
It's all a ruse.
Plane again.
I know somebody who won.
I've hit a big one before.
I know somebody who won like $750,000, and they had to stay overnight in the nearby hotel, and they were not allowed to leave, or they forfeit their money until the next day when.
Yeah, they come and break the machine down.
Whoever it was had to come and get it done. So I think it depends on who's available, but I'm just saying.
So it's all a ruse for you to miss your flight.
Yep.
This
is Don Rickles racing the plane.
Guess what?
If you hit like a $625,000 jackpot, they want you. Yeah, you're gonna kick it for a minute.
Right.
They will give you casino credits up front.
Yeah. Oh, right. Please.
Oh, yeah.
And they'll comp your room.
Send them all. Yep.
Sure they will.
Yep.
Here, there's this one over here. You can go. You can go wait in this waiting room over here. Oh, look at that. There's 17 more slot machines. Just give them a test run. What do you say?
Yeah.
On the house.
Wet the beak. Just wet the beak.
We got your little player's card here. Got you loaded up.
Yep.
Credits. Just swipe it and go.
No need for chips. None of that. Keep those numbers digital so they don't seem real. And just burn that thing to the ground.
You did it once. You could do it again. I mean, come on.
Right.
You're great at this.
You're a natural.
The finger motion is unmatched.
Can I bring you a drink or 5?
Have you ever seen these slot tournaments? It's just rows of old people hammering that button as fast as they can for I don't know how long.
With as many trolls as they can get lined up on that machine. They bring all their little good luck charms. They hit them like.
Oh man, I'd be that guy.
Like patterns too of like, oh, I'm gonna bet this much, then I'm gonna bet this much. And if it's a place like in Wisconsin, we have the ones where you hit the button, but you can also still pull the handle on some of them. And then I'm gonna pull the handle this time, and then I'm gonna bet this much, and then I'm gonna spin. It's like crazy, crazy.
Step into this dark room. Aaron Rodgers will be here in a few minutes. He's gonna bring some of his psychedelics, and we're just gonna let you guys have a party in there.
Relax. Love, laugh, and love.
Like the gambling machines at bars is it's its own economy.
Oh yeah.
There's people walking up to the bar like, hey, I just won $200, and then you get your $200. I don't know what the legalities of it are, but I know
how much is Golden Tee brought in
back and forth.
How much is Golden Tee brought in over the years?
At least $1 billion. At least $1 billion. Well, 5820. That's all you get. That's all I got. AK, thank you so much for joining us. Absolutely saved the day. He came in from the beach to talk sports with us. What a guy.
Would not miss it. Would not miss it. Love this show. Love you guys. This is a great opportunity. I appreciate y'all inviting me on and our show. So
awesome.
They got a great show over there too. Go subscribe to the Millie Goats podcast. Thank you everyone for listening. Downloads and reviews do mean a lot. I'm counting them every day. I look at them like a little plant I have that I water. Go over to patriotsportsnow.com for all of our latest goings on. Follow us at PSRNTWK on the Twitter, or type Patriot Sports into the search bar. Till next time, be good to each other. Chris, kick the outro music.
You've been listening to Patriot Sports Radio. If you're sick of all the national talking heads and biases of mainstream sports media, like we are, this show is for you. We hope you enjoyed it. Make sure to like, rate, and review. And we'll be back soon. For more content and merch, hit up www.patriotsportsnow.com. Find us on Twitter at PatriotsPod, on Instagram and Facebook at Patriot Sports Now, and on Getter, Rumble, and YouTube at Patriot Sports. Take care, and we'll see you next time.